Hello, welcome to my return to Minecraft Tower Defense, one of my favorite games as a child. Well, I only played it for a short time on YouTube in 2012, I believe. I played on my channel Commander Lucario. It was my third channel actually, and I remember those videos. Well, actually, I went back and actually watched my best of 2012 collection. You could go check that out if you want to. And I remember in those videos I talked mostly about just stuff that was happening in my life socially at the time. I didn't focus too much on the game because really tower defense games, or this tower defense game in particular, is pretty straightforward. You start off building your way to your house, you make your path, and then you defend that path. Now, do not check your monitor, your video player, your internet. That is just a video. No, before you go. Do not click off this video. Maybe just listen to this first part. Does the game footage get any better? No, but I still think you should stay. Because that is a part of the story or the current state of Minecraft Tower Defense, in my opinion. Because not only, for some reason, it dropped a shit ton of frames while I recorded. For I don't know why. This has never happened to me before on this computer ever. Not even on the old computer. My shitty old computer from 8 years ago can handle this game pretty well. That's not the issue. I don't know what the issue is though, but that's not the only issue with this game as well. As you see here, I'm starting off with snowballs, arrows, eggs, the basic attacking stuff. But as I play the game, I get to each successive wave. As you can see, the waves are changing. You could hear it, and I'm putting down a cactus to stop them from advancing. But for some reason, when the creepers and spiders advance to the other side of the first row, the eggs and arrows do not shoot anything behind them. They only shoot the things in front of them. And I thought that was weird. Maybe this version of Minecraft Tower Defense is glitched for some reason. But also, they walked right through the cacti. So I eventually lost, and I had to find another source to play Minecraft Tower Defense to finish this part of the Operation Loose Ends. So I start off once again. The frames are still shitty and drop, but maybe I could just technically get a screenshot and technically say I beat this level. But I'm afraid that we're gonna have very similar issues of getting that as well. I don't know about you, but it seems that the current state of Minecraft Tower Defense is it's not too good. Everywhere I go, it comes out with this very bad frame rate, and it's not like OBS update or something. I just recorded Pokemon Dark Rising before this, and it came out perfectly. So I don't know what was up, and just a couple months before recording this video, I was playing Minecraft Tower Defense, and it was fine. It was just how I remember it back in 2011 and 2012. But it's been almost a decade since then, and the game looks the same, kind of plays the same, but it's certainly not the same. It's not as good as it used to be because it just doesn't work. It's broken, and no one has cared to port it or preserve it anyway. And a lot of places where I got links to go play and find a better version of it, the game's just gone. They replaced it with newer, cooler Flash games that I'm sure the kids are going all wild for. But back in my day, this is what I have. And I guess it's lost to the ages now, because a lot of places where it was, it's gone, and where it is now, the place where it still is at, it's quite broken. And last attempt that I'll show here is when I went to Reddit to see. I got a link, and I I checked that link on Reddit. Actually, it sent me to nowhere. That's one of the examples I talk about that I was talking about earlier. It sent me to a website that doesn't even have the app anymore. So I went just Google back on Google and found another one where I could play. Again, recording's not working. I didn't notice at the time I was recording. I thought it was going perfectly fine. I thought the only thing was wrong was the game. But sadly, it's not the case. It seems as though Minecraft Tower Defense has died. And just when I thought to go back and maybe complete a game that I felt was one of the loose ends I needed to tie up, the internet has passed me by. Many things in my life have passed me by. And, you know, it's not well preserved. In my attempt to make something out of it, out of past memories, I think that well is dry here. But I feel like it would be pretty shitty of me just to not acknowledge this game, because it is. I still remember it. I always wanted to come back and play it and finish the 3 levels that they have here. And I was gonna do a 3-part series out of it, each covering its own topic, its own like social topic in my life, and also the game at hand. But once again, the game is not working here. Once they get past my first line of defense, the eggs do not shoot on the second row, which maybe you can make that out here. Doesn't seem that way to me. It's yep, the game is broken. And with that, I think it's high time that I just move on and I consider this chapter in my life completed. It's time for a change of plans. So what is the plan that I have in mind? Is Operation Loose Ends over? No, it's still happening, but obviously we just need to refocus ourselves and move on from this. So far we've finished one of the games, one of the projects that I wanted to this whole time, and in Minecraft Tower Defense we're currently on Pokemon Dark Rising. A week or so from now we'll start Lisa up, a game that me and Sam played in 2017 on GTO, but we never finished. Then after my Pokemon Dark Rising playthrough is over, I'll move on to Pokemon Zeta. And when Lisa's done, my secondary playthrough's done, I'll move on to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Decade Duels Plus. When I finish my Zatch Bell reviews, I'll move on to Zatch Bell Moto Battles. When Pokemon Zeta is done, I'll move on to Two Worlds 2. And when the Zatch Bell Moto Battles is done, I'll start up Celeste again, or maybe Celeste will be its own thing. It'll be done when it gets done. You know, it's on its own schedule, I guess. But I also want to make up a video wrapping up the past Nuzlocke I've attempted at, and just talking about and analyzing my Nuzlocke failures, because I love Pokemon Nuzlocks. I love doing them, but I'm pretty fucking bad at them. And I like to make a video analyzing why am I so bad, what can I do to change all these things, and then we'll move on to one of the Nuzlocks that I failed at pretty miserably on this channel, the Pokemon Blue Randomizer Nuzlocke. But also, I think a pretty big project I'll also be tackling is, even though I didn't technically have it wasn't a project I didn't finish, it was an ongoing project that I just didn't keep going with, but I think we need some closure on the GTO UWL wrestling thing. So this year, starting in like maybe September, October, somewhere around there, the UWL Sunset Adventure Super Tournament will start. There will be 64 wrestlers. There will be first round, single elimination, second round, single, just knockout round. But once we get down to the round of 16, we'll break them in half, and there will be 2 blocks, an A block and a B block. It will be round robin, and the masters of those 2 blocks will face off in the finals sometime in December. There will be a men's Sunset Adventure, and there will be a women's Sunset Adventure. It will be surely a grand old time, an emotional one as well. Many old faces, many old friends will probably show up. And you might even hear directly commentary from maybe even Sam. But yes, I do plan on finishing that chapter as well. Those are the things that I'm looking forward to and working on this year for Operation Loose Ends. With all those things finished, I don't think there's anything else in my YouTube career I need to go back on to finish. Anything that I really haven't that you might point out, I plan on doing somewhere down the line as a part of something else. But these are the things that I did maybe on the spur of the moment way back when, or wanted to do and just didn't feel like finishing it. But this year for me is about finishing what you started, no matter how insignificant it was, no matter how stupid it was, no matter how ill-conceived it was, or how unprepared I was for the moment. And for most of my time on YouTube, I don't think I was up for the moment. But it's time to step up, finish what I've started. When I came up with this idea for this video, I was really very depressed. I guess I usually am, but I'm tired of feeling like a useless guy. Pretty sure I have a severe depression and some sort of weird complex PTSD from childhood neglect. I don't have the money for a therapist, and I don't have anyone I feel comfortable burdening with the information that's in my mind. I only feel comfortable talking to strangers at this point, and of course, talking into this microphone. So talking to this microphone I will. And I'll do my best, give it my all, and this year will be grand. I can't feel sorry for myself anymore.
This season is also about Christopher, who has, Christopher, the entire show is a permanent adolescent. Yeah. And this season is about his addiction, Christopher and Meadow, the dichotomy of the movie, they chose the 2 ways in which you deal with the bottom world. One is with Meadow, where you try to get out and rebel against your father with all these, just randomly picked social justice causes, just seeking achievements in the professional liberal world. And Christopher, which is just, numbing yourself and writing a terrible script.
Yep, it's I don't want to do this, but I'm too good for a real job. I must be an artist.
Yeah.
That is the delusion of the entire generation that was being formed around that moment, which is what makes the show so tremendously impressive. Because it's really only in retrospect that most people notice what was happening. But that frozen generation, that frozen fail son energy that both AJ and Christopher possess, comes from that crisis of you could just put your head down and live like a regular person and maybe have less free time and more alienation and maybe less money, but at least it would put you in this moral quandary of going into a world that you don't really feel is yours and makes you do things you don't really feel are right. But that's boring. What's the alternative to that? Well, just finding something about myself so fucking interesting and so brilliant that people will just pay me to be myself.
Yeah, that's all Christopher wants.
And I must stress, that is also all that I ever wanted. The difference is I got it. Booyah.
Yeah, we both got it.
End zone dance. But
we're both AJ.
We are. Oh, we're both AJ. The only difference
we're all
is
AJ.
We're talented AJ. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is we had that urge and instinct and that pathology, but we also had talent. Most people aren't going to have enough And so they're gonna just be in this self-loathing circle to imagine themselves in that position,